Hi everyone, my name is Kat, and recently something happened to me that I couldn't even imagine in my worst nightmare. Anyway, I have a friend, Maggie, and she, when it comes to appearance, is not a good-looking girl at all. She's shorter than me. Her hair color looks awful, and she constantly puts her hair in a bun. Maggie wears glasses with thick lenses, and her clothes are shapeless and gray. And honestly, when I am next to her, she makes me look like a real supermodel. I have golden long hair, blue eyes, a graceful figure, and I wear fashionable clothes. When Maggie and I hang out with the guys, all eyes are on me. And I love it. A new kid, George, recently came to our school. He's handsome, smart, and also plays in our school basketball team. He immediately caught the attention of all the girls. But he was cold to everyone. I really wanted to get to know him. So I tried to get him to like me. One day while walking in the park with Maggie, George came up to us. He was just unbelievable, so attentive and interesting. He was telling us jokes, life stories, and then he asked me out. The next month passed like a fairy tale. We walked in parks, went to the movies, sat in cafes, and just had a great time. I usually took Maggie with me on our dates. She didn't say anything, and it didn't distract us from talking. She made me look even more attractive. George occasionally tried to talk to my friend, but she was just babbling incoherently to herself. I knew Maggie was no competition to me. I was worried about the cheerleaders who were eyeballing my George. But I was glad he didn't even notice their presence. After a month of our relationship, the whole school knew we were dating. We were the perfect couple. One day, Maggie went on vacation with her parents for a week. And the whole time, it was like George didn't notice me. He'd say hello and smile, and then he'd always try to find a reason to disappear. But as soon as Maggie arrived, everything went back to normal. We went on dates, had dinner at cafes. I decided that the ugly girl made me look stunning. I helped pick out Maggie even more gaudy outfits. I told her that makeup was not her thing at all. And I bought for her huge, half-face sunglasses. I bought myself some nice dresses. And I never left the house without makeup. One day, Maggie and I were doing homework together, and she asked me what she should do if a guy who had a girlfriend asked her out. I laughed and told Maggie not to embarrass herself. This guy was probably just making fun of her, because a girl like her could never attract a man, not to mention someone who already has a steady girlfriend. Maggie was very offended at me. She cried and ran home. I don't understand. Would it have been better if I had lied to her? But the next day, the scariest thing happened. George came up to me at school and told me that it was over between us, and that it was because I had hurt Maggie. I was shocked. What has that to do with us? A day later, the worst thing happened. George and Maggie came to school holding hands. She was in her shapeless sweater, with her hair pulled back in a bun, and huge glasses, while I was standing in the school hallway like I had just come off the runway. Seeing me, Maggie blushed and lowered her gaze. George gave me a cold hello. Our whole school immediately started talking. No one could believe he replaced me with her. When class was over, I pinned Maggie against the wall. could you do this to me? We're friends. Kat, I met George when he came to our school. And he asked me out. What? But I blew him off. And he started hanging out with you, so he could at least see me that way. And then I realized that you were purposely choosing horrible clothes for me to look better yourself. And I decided to date George. I was shocked by those words. Maggie had humiliated me so much. But she was right. And I don't know what I'm gonna do. I had lost my boyfriend. And I might lose my best friend. It's my own fault. What would you do if you were me? Please write.